What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action spawning in the left side of the map. In the red color, playing as Kronos, his name is Shadowfaxx. His opponent today, in the blue color, playing as Set, his name is Count Von Count. You've got to count your Vons and Von your counts. I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. I love watching Count Von Count. I love watching Shadowfaxx, and I love watching Shadowfaxx trying out Kronos. I think a lot of people have kind of made the decision that Kronos is maybe the worst god in the game, and Shadowfaxx is the type of guy that says, you know what? You say he's the worst god in the game, I'm going to play him, and I'm going to play him until he's not the worst god in the game. He did it with Thor to some degree, and I reckon he's doing it with Kronos here to some degree as well. I'm excited to see what he's going to come up with. I keep on saying this. The thing about Kronos is that he is not Uranos. It might sound crazy to say this, but Uranos and Kronos, they are different gods that require a very, very different strategic idea, strategic mindset. So, what's different? Well, the big difference between Kronos and Uranos, and why Kronos seems to be so weak, is that Kronos' Terma only have 5.0 speed. And this might not seem like a big deal, but it actually is gigantic. Even if Kronos' Terma were 5.05 speed, just a minuscule amount more, Kronos would be a very, very tough god to be beating. But because his Terma are 5.0 speed, it means that his Terma are useless to a very, very big extent. They're not very strong at all because they get hit by archers. They can't. They don't dodge archers is basically the reason, and that makes them quite weak. So, what do you do about it? Answer is Kronos, don't build Terma, or at least don't build crazy amounts of Terma. You can build a handful of Terma, but don't build Terma at any huge amount. Build Kyra. Kronos' bonus is Kyra, Siege. Siege are faster. Myth units are faster. So you build yourself Mermillo, you build yourself Kyra, you build yourself Promethean, or you could even try and go into automatons as well as another idea. Lots of different strategies available for Kronos, and a lot of what do you call investigation needed to work out everything going on. As we do see that Shadowfaxx has actually found Count Von Count's temple now. This is gigantic. Another huge bonus of Kronos is that he has access to deconstruction. And what you can do is if you look at the score of your opponent, and we'll actually take a big look at exactly what it is. I think it's roughly 20 score. And the score ticks every couple of seconds or changes every couple of seconds. But if the score drops significantly, that was an 80 score drop there, you know your opponent's clicked up then. So you can do a timing to deconstruct this temple and prevent your opponent getting their myth unit, and also in this specific case, the animals of Set. We'll see if Shadowfaxx is going to be going for that. It looks like he's bringing his units back, so not really playing into that strength and not really punishing Count Von Count's kind of silly temple positioning on the front here. But if he'd clicked the deconstruction here at something like 4 minutes, or maybe, yeah, at about 4 minutes, the temple would be dead. There'll be no animals of Set. There'll be no Wadget coming here for Count Von Count, and that would be a big advantage just from one god power here. It's stronger than like Bolt in some matchups. Like, for example, obviously Zeus is always bolting the Valkyrie. You can just deconstruct the temple. No free Valkyrie. That's great for you. So lots and lots of options for Kronos to attempt to find advantages. As we do see, the second age is in. No immediate Valor here. The Oracle's just sitting back, doesn't really want to make that happen just yet. There's the Valor coming in for Shadowfaxx. Over here, Bow of Artemis could get picked up. Very, very useful relic as the Hero Oracle getting converted over here as well. Going to be getting pushed back. And we do see the units pushing forward, and this priest looks like it's going to be getting picked off very, very shortly here. This is a classic A classic set problem against... well, he probably could have killed that, but decided to retreat away and save his Oracle's HP. Priest living with 8 HP is nice for Count Von Count. We'll see what he's got, kind of a strategy he's going to be going for. Looks like he's going for a fast second town center over here. Double Elephant on this one's going to be very, very nice. Shadowfaxx on the other side here. He's got a couple of options here. He does go for an immediate counter barracks, and he is building Terma, which is... This is not really what I like to see. And we'll see how this is all going to go as the Promethean offspring moving forward. What is the plan? As we do see Shadowfaxx here. He does know that there's villagers over here, and Count on Count, he's got shifting. There's Spidey senses! How does... Oh, no, he saw it. He must have seen it. The Spidey senses of Count Von Count. I don't know if he saw that or not. He may have seen it on this, like something pop up over here. But regardless, keeps his villagers alive, brings them back home. Nice start there. As the Monkey of Set going to be retreating around here and all the other good stuff. We do see some Promethean offspring coming over here as well. As the Gazelle of Set deal with that nicely. And he's going to have to retreat back. As Shadowfaxx, he's still one town center, hasn't decided exactly what he wants to do yet. I imagine he's probably going to try and grab this town center on the front, probably try and grab a back town center over here, or rush the next age here. Now, if you're playing as Uranos, a lot of people think that if you allow the Egyptian player to kind of freely grab hunt and freely do all of this stuff, it can be really, really tough to beat the Egyptian player as Uranos. But Kronos, on the other hand, in the heroic age, Kronos gets one, he gets faster myth units and cheaper myth units. So his heroic age myth units are much more valuable than Uranos. And two, his destroyers are cheaper than the Uranos player. So that allows him to get himself going much, much better than an Uranos can in the heroic age. And I think if Shadowfaxx wants, he can definitely consider taking these villagers off of wood, put them over onto food, and try and rush the heroic age here and find an advantage. He's also getting Bow of Artemis, which is going to help out the Arcus, which he definitely wants to build in combination with the Destroyer. So Arcus Destroyer, always going to be a composition you want to be going for. And Shadowfaxx, he does drop a barracks here. I don't see the armory, so I'm a bit surprised to see that. Not quite 100% sure what he's going for. Count Von Count on the other hand here. Count Von Count's got 0 food in the bank for some reason. At 7 minutes in the game. What does he spend his resources on? Priests? I guess priests? Does he have pickaxe now? He's got pickaxe, he's got husbandry. This is a really, really weird set. This is a really, really weird set. He's got all of these elephants here to eat underneath this town center. He's got all of this hunt here to eat. As we see Shadowfaxx's settlement coming in, bringing them back. He should be skyrocketing to the next stage. Monument to the Soldiers coming up, but this is going to be a late heroic age from Count Von Count. Shadowfaxx, on the other hand, mana coming up, and it looks like he's going to be pumping out Mermillo out of this barracks for the time being here. As he's still sitting on this elephant over here, making sure that it's nice and safe. He could time shift a mana up onto this position. That would be not a problem. Another small trick here. Another small trick here from the Kronos side of things is there's this really cheap upgrade here. 150 wood, 6 building line of sight. What does this mean? This means if I time shift a mana or a barracks, that lone barracks gives me enough line of sight to continue time shifting buildings in onto that position. It's a really, really good idea for time shifting shenanigans in the mid game, into the late game, and all the other stuff that happens. So we still don't have an armory up just yet, but it looks like Shadowfaxx might be considering staying in this classical age for a little bit longer. He does have the resources in terms of gold, and I'm sure he's going to skyrocket up very, very shortly. Walls coming down over here to be nice and safe. We do see some Mermillo heroes coming over here to hit Count Von Count's villagers where that's concerned. As now Count's got the resources to advance. It's going to be like a 10-minute heroic age here from Count Von Count. as he's looking like a little bit scared of this Kronos here. And this is the other hidden bonus. The hidden bonus of of Kronos is that the pressure that he puts out just by existing makes your opponent have to put effort into defense, which some other civilizations don't have. And I think Kronos is the biggest one. It's the same thing happens with Heimdall. When you see Heimdall, there's like a hidden bonus to Heimdall where it's like, it's just scary because he can just undermine your tower, and then your dudes are going to be in a lot of pain. Kronos can deconstruct your tower, and you're going to be in a lot of pain. So, hidden bonus, count on count on the back foot. He might be going for a fast mythic here. Shadowfaxx going up through rear. Definitely a great idea here to go through rear, especially if he wants to go for a fast attack onto this town center. This is another option. You don't have to go through. Hyperion here and make Satyr, though I do think that that's the more safe, the more calculated way to play for Kronos, because the Satyr are just an incredibly difficult unit to kill for most civilizations. They're basically a Manticore, but cheaper, faster, better in every single way. And Manticore, if they're massed, are really, really good as well, right? So you could think that's how it goes. So we are seeing the Temple getting time shifted onto this position. Nephthys comes through for Count on Count. Temple coming through here for Shadowfaxx. Count on Count here in his main base. Marker coming up. He's going for a Mythic Age here. 2 monuments up. He wants the Mythic Age. We'll see what he's going to go. Is he going to go through Horus? Is he going to go through Thoth here? As the market about to pop. And Count on Count about to have the resources, and he will be advancing here. Which god is he going to choose as he goes through Horus? Shadowfaxx, on the other hand, starting to put some pressure onto this position here. Gets himself the Behemoth out. Going to be moving that one forward to start targeting down this town. So going to be a little bit careful with that. Count on Count's going to have plenty of villagers over here. He's also got the Priest and the Pharaoh to deal with this. As we see a Migdol Stronghold coming down onto that position. Count on Count's got to be careful with his Migdol as well. Generally speaking, against Kronos, you need to get 2 Migdols. Otherwise, it's going to get deconstructed when you absolutely least want it to get deconstructed. As the Behemoth coming through, the villagers can shank the Behemoth down. It's only got 30% hack armor, which is not a lot. And while it does have 625 HP, it's going to get taken down very, very fast there as the Scorpion Man gets converted. That's exactly what Count von Count wants. However, this only takes, it takes 3 minutes to come back. So he's going to have a little bit of time playing around with his Avengers before they're going to start getting converted as well. But we'll see what Count von Count's going to be able to make happen here. Another option is to just, instead of making Avengers here, you just make Rhinos of Set, which are just as useful. And we do have Count von Count. He has gotten Feral here. So it does seem like that's his plan in this game. As Shadowfaxx, one thing that Shadowfaxx can do is, because he's gone through Prometheus, is there's this upgrade here, Heart of the Titans, 20% hero cost reduction. That will help him out against the types of Rhino spam that Count von Count might be wanting to do. There's another raid coming through. Count von Count has to get pushed back. He has not secured a gold mine just yet. He's run out of gold in his main base, trying to push forward up onto this location over here as the siege tower is going to be coming through. No vision here for Count von Count to immediately get a tornado on. He could try and slam down a Migdol in the middle of his base here, but destroyers are out. And Count von Count going to be in a world of trouble moving forward here, as these units, they're just so strong, especially if he heroizes them with the Valor. This is another thing that happens if you save your Valors for the Heroic Age, save your Valors even for the Mythic Age, you can get free Fanatic, free Destroyers. It can be very much valuable if that's something that ends up happening, as the hero Mamilo comes over here pushing villagers off of this gold mine as well. Avenger coming through onto this position as Horns of Consecration does come through. This technology, it's not really the best, unfortunately. As you see, Hero Contarius coming out to deal with this, but it will give Shadowfaxx more favor to play with in order to deal with whatever's coming his way here. As the Rhinoceros comes in, all the villagers stay alive over here. Almost all getting picked off, though, as the Avengers still searching around for something to get something to pick off. But 6.05 speed, Shadowfaxx. 6.05 speed, Shadowfaxx Gontara is very strong, as we do see the shifting sands coming in. Watchtowers comes in time as well, as the... I really would have preferred to see the tornado in the main base and the shifting sands onto this town center, but alas, into the main base, the War Elephant's out, the Citizen getting taken down, absolute chaos in the main base here for Shadowfaxx, as, I mean, Scorpion Man not really doing anything up over here, the Avenger getting taken down on this position as well, as the units retreating away from the Ancestors. The town center does end up falling, but Shadowfaxx has already got the town center up on this position as well, as Count Von Count cleans the town center up. How many resources in the bank for Count Von Count? A little bit. He can't really throw down a town center here just yet. Where are the animals are set? There are the rhinos are set coming out onto this position, attempting to stop this town center from coming down. Got to be careful not to throw away that Pharaoh here, because it does take it's only 6 seconds, but that's a decent amount of training time to actually build these rhinoceros to set, which you want to have them out immediately. You could garrison it into the siege tower and keep them alive, but those there's no units here to really take out those hero units that Shadowfaxx has built here, as the villagers coming forward can attempt to shank these as best as he can, as Count pulls back. He's getting the town center in the main base, but that one's not going to be able to come up with a behemoth in here to slow this down. Also, the destroyers coming through, that's going to be enough to slow the town center down, so it's never going to come up. And the Arcus will clean up all the rest of those villages, as it looks like Shadowfaxx has defended the villager rush of Count Von Count here. Meanwhile, over on this position, the Scorpion Man is getting more and more damage done, and there's still traders available. Where does he use the trader? I believe he uses it on a siege tower here. So now Shadowfaxx has got a cheeky option available to him that's only available to, I believe, Kronos, and that is Vortex Citizens. How do you Vortex a citizen? You garrison the citizen into the siege tower and then click Vortex, and you can actually get your citizen into the back of your opponent's base for a surprise attack, time shift to palace down while building a palace. Clean up the town center, take the town center for yourself. Very, very tough to stop. But you have to keep that siege tower alive for quite some time to actually be able to make that happen, as this War Elephant still sitting in the main base of Shadowfaxx, causing some problems for Count Von Count, for Shadowfaxx here, as Count Von Count's being very annoying where that's concerned. However, the problem for Count is he still doesn't have a solid gold mine in this game. Gold over here, not that solid. Gold over here, even with that Migdol Stronghold coming up, that can get deconstructed. Shadowfaxx has got 2 deconstructions remaining. You can put it down over here, continue the pressure onto this position as well, as that's exactly what Shadowfaxx's plan is going to be here, it seems, as he's continuing to pump units out here. Count's trying to get the Migdol up. Siege Tower defending Chariot Archers over here, as well as the Citizen continues to rebuild this town, build this town center up. Terma coming through to deal with this as well, as we do see the immediate deconstruction onto this location, as more villagers getting taken out. Priests joining in to try and take down the Arcus here, but well, not the Arcus, but the Promethean. But the Arcus should be able to deal with those Promethean decently, as well as more units pumping out of here as well, as Chariot Archer raids coming through for Count Von Count, looking for something to hit here. A couple of very low HP Citizen over here as well, but Shadowfaxx about to get this town center up. He's still got the gold staff on this location, and over here, do we see any villagers of Count Von Count onto this gold mine? No, he's given up on that one for the time being, as another siege works coming through, priests getting produced out. Count needs Axeman here to deal with those destroyers. One thing that Count does have going for him, he's got 33 favor in the bank, as he does decide to spend that all onto Rhinoceros. Exactly what he needs to do, but he's got no houses here, no population. He needs to get those houses back up to produce these Rhinoceros. It might not be a bad idea, actually, to make Hippopotamus in this situation. Why? They only cost 1 population. They're significantly weaker than the Rhinoceros, and they do cost 4 favor or something like that, but they only cost 1 population. That can be a nice bolster to your army when it's nice and fat and big. As the destroyers coming over here, tanking everything on this position, as the Chariot Archers come through, sniping one citizen over there. Citizen has to retreat away, as Count Von Count has stopped Shadowfaxx getting up to the 4th town center here. Nice play where that's concerned, as the destroyers breaking through these Chariot Archers as best as they possibly can here. Siege works coming up onto this location as well, as he's about to have that one finished, but that's not going to be any help. Count Von Count's got no gold income. He's got 18 gold. He does have 3 units with the Rhinoceros, but they're only so good. They only last so long, especially when your opponent's got those hero units out. And I mean, Shadowfaxx doesn't get his upgrade to make them cheaper, but he's still got those heroes out to deal with those Rhinoceros nice and fast nonetheless. Wait, does he have upgrades on his priest? No, he doesn't have the Spirit of Mart either. So those priests are full cost priests, not exactly an easy unit to train there in the slightest. As the Terma gets taken out there, and Count Von Count going to be continuing to try and find raids here, raiding his way back into the game, but over on this position, the gold mining expedition has been spotted, and I'm sure Shadowfaxx is going to continue to move over them. I'm surprised we haven't seen any time shifting onto this location here. Like a temple or a barracks over here, making some Prometheans out to kill those villagers could be very, very strong. Making some Amilo out, some Contarius, anything onto that position wouldn't be a bad idea. As the Chariot Archers get pushed back, Town Center is still getting built up over on this position here. Shadowfaxx only at 116 to 145 population here. He's not able to get up to full population in this game, but his economy is absolutely slaying compared to Count Von Count. And the problem with playing set is always you've got a finite amount of favor to build, and once those rhinos are done, they're basically done for the next couple of minutes before you can get any sort of mass out of them again. And you can definitely deal with these rhinos by slowly picking them off and dealing with any sort of timings that come through with them. As Shadowfaxx now up to full population, almost about to get himself the 4th town center as well up, as still more raids coming over here. Still no sort of time shift onto this position. He just put a barracks down. Let's grab this barracks over here. He's getting himself Mail of Orichalcos there. Grab this barracks here, time shifted here, keep putting more barracks down all over the place. Definitely the right play as the villagers turning around. Getting some shanking action going on as the Chariot Archer army of Count Von Count comes through to defend this position. But Shadowfaxx, 4 town centers now. He's making himself still Contarius. He's making himself Destroyers. He's making himself Archers. All correct units here to be going for in this game is the Rhinoceros. I mean, it just does so much damage. It's so much value if your opponent just doesn't have the resources to get their heroes out, which obviously Shadowfaxx doesn't quite have here. But the longer this game goes on, the more those citizens are going to come out, and it looks like there's just not that many citizens remaining here to be built before Shadowfaxx is at full population where that's concerned. As Count Von Count, 118 population here, trying to defend this. The hardest part about defending this is that these destroyers are 69% pierced armor, which means they basically take no damage from these Chariot Archers. As the Pharaoh gets pulled back, still trying to make the Rhinoceros out. Rhinoceros do beat the destroyers nicely, though. They can come in and take those out. Nice micro here from Shadowfaxx to take down the Pharaoh, but great micro from Count Von Count, pulling the Arcus away, trying to keep his Pharaoh alive to continue building those Rhinoceros out. But it looks like Count Von Count's production has slowed down to a halt here as the population of Shadowfaxx is overwhelming in this game. And the Arcus, Terma cleaning all the stuff up here, doing massive amounts of damage.
Into you.
And in that moment, Count Von Count does decide to tap out. Gold starved, nothing left. And Shadowfaxx shows how he can hold these sorts of crazy attacks. I think that if Count Von Count tornadoed this town center and shifting sands onto this one, it would have been very, very different. You might not realize it, but the watchtowers here did a lot of damage to Count Von Count's attack here. If he just tornadoed this, killed this, maybe put a Migdol up on this position, it would have been maybe a slightly better position for Count Von Count to be in rather than the position he was in. I think he lost a lot of villagers on that timing attack there, which I don't think he would have if it was over here. But nonetheless, Shadowfaxx, nice Kronos game here. You can just see watching Kronos and watching how strong he can be by simply just realizing there's all of these little things that Kronos can do that Kronos players aren't doing, which you go, well, I mean, if they did those, just think about what Kronos could be. Things like taking the temple down at the right time with deconstruction. Things like time shifting into the corner like that. Things like playing for the Satyr, playing for the Destroyers in a real big fashion, knowing that the Heroic Age is your time to shine as Kronos. Lots of very fun things here for Kronos and a great game from Shadowfaxx. If you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.